Welcome to all of you for this second webinar of a series of 4 around micro-focus products. And today we will speak about application delivery management. So the agenda for today is, I would say, easy. If I can just go onto the agenda. So I will go very fast over the micro-focus partner program for those of you who do not know how it works. And then I will give the word to Stéphane Brier from Micro-Focus, who will present an overview, a quick overview, I would say, about the ADM product portfolio and some news about the micro-focus universe who took place a few weeks ago. And I would say it's the big fair for micro-focus with a lot of announcements around all of the product range. There's a Q&A session foreseen at the end, but I suppose, Stefan, it's not an issue if people want to interrupt and ask questions. Maybe it's also easier.
No, for me that's fine. I like to keep it interactive, so if there are any questions, please let me know.
Okay, so let's start immediately with the, I would say the, that's not the right one, with the presentation of the micro-focus partner program. I have a lot of slides, so I will go quickly through it. Anyway, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me and I can give you more details. So in a nutshell, the why a partner program, of course, to make you, I would say, more visible at micro-focus, one point, and make you also visible for, I would say, customers, as you can be registered, as you will be published on the micro-focus partner website. But there are also some extra incentive for you, like back rebates, for example, and also specific trainings around the micro-focus product range. So the product range is very huge, I would say. It's split it in 7 different portfolios, each one including a lot of products. So today we will, I would say, concentrate ourselves on the second one, the application delivery management. Just for your information, next week, Tuesday, we have another seminar around IT operation management. And next week, Thursday, about cyber resilience, so more security oriented. So the partnership is, I would say, pretty easy and straightforward. You have 3 levels: authorized, gold, and platinum. The authorized is the first level, the basic one. You just have to register on the website, and I will go just quickly through it. So you have to register first your company on the website, and after maximum 48 hours, but usually it goes quicker, the company is, I would say, approved as partner, and then you can create your own, I would say, your own account and get access to the partner portal. So when you're authorized, you already have, and I have just after that, I would say, a comparison of the different levels. You have immediately access to a lot of things. But if you get extra certifications around, for example, IT operation management in this slide, you need to have 2 people with a technical and 2 people with a sales. That can be the same people, by the way. Then you will get a gold level, which allows you to have, for example, more back rebates. And if you are very successful with micro-focus and you drive something like $1 million US dollar revenue per year, you will automatically become platinum, which allows you to have even more marketing fund, for example, and more visibility. So this is a comparison of the 3 levels. As you can see, the most I would say the interesting parts are that you have more pre-sale support, you have marketing funds, you get leads from micro-focus if you are gold or platinum. I won't go into all details. You will get anyway the slides after the presentation. One important point I said, to be gold or platinum, you need to have certified people. It is based, it is regional based, which means that if you have somebody certified, for example, in Belgium, Belgium is in what Micro Focus calls Gallia. So Gallia includes France, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Your certification in Belgium counts also for a subsidiary in France or Luxembourg, for example. So if you are a multinational company, you don't have to certify people in all countries. You have to have them certified per region. So this could be also interesting for, I would say, more international companies. Now, the certification I spoke about, you have the sales, the pre-sales people, which is the second block that gets certified. So when you have access to the, I would say, to the partner portal, you will find a link to all certifications based on the product portfolio you are interested in. And after the I would say the standard certification, you can get extra certification to have advanced technical knowledge of the products, which gives you even more visibility. And there is also a program of continuous learning, helping you to remain up to date on the product portfolio you are interested in. The deal registration, well, here they say it gives you indeed more a review, and it's so interesting. The point is, here are the figures. So you have two, I would say, rebates. One is a sourced rebates, which is, I would say, the basic one. And for the gold or platinum partners, you have tier rebates, which gives you even extra back rebates. One important point is those figures applies only on, I would say, list price or non-special prices. So if you have a big deal with special prices, the rebates won't be low, won't be those numbers, but will be lower. One important point also, to register a deal, I mean, when the Micro Focus will check if the opportunity is known, and if they don't know it, you will get the full rebate. What can you register as deal? I would say, in a nutshell, all new business, so no renewal, and also not all SaaS, and of course not SaaS renewals. Now, MDF, this is the process to request MDF. So you have to submit your activity, get the approval from Oracle, of course, from Micro Focus. Sorry, I just had an Oracle call just before. So get the approval, execute, of course, give some proofs of execution, and then you will get paid for the MDF. The partner, and just to summarize, or maybe just to show you an overview of the partner portal. This is, I would say, the one-point access for all partners, which means that you can have there, you have an overview of the certification of the MDF, so the marketing fund. This is the place where you can also request marketing fund. This is the place where you can also follow up your leads. And you can also find product announcements and more, I would say, confidential or more partner-oriented information around products and so on. So this is, I would say, what you see on the right side above is the home page of the partner portal, which you can reach through the Micro Focus site. And I think that's it. There's a last slide with all the links. So I would say, in a nutshell, the partnership is free, easy to register. It takes just a few days to have everything set up, and then you can just start with the certifications if you want to have the gold. To be honest, I did the certifications. It is not that difficult. So I mean, it doesn't take a lot of time, and so I would say it's easy, and it can bring you more value to your partnership. And with that, I would say I will give the word to Stefan, who has maybe the most important information for this session. So Stefan, I just stopped the share, and you can share again.
Thank you, Bernard. I will indeed share my screen. So here it is. You should be able to see it now.
Yes.
If you can confirm, okay, thank you. Let me quickly rearrange my laptop screen as well. Good. So during the next 30 to 40 minutes, I will walk you through the application delivery management portfolio of Micro Focus. And I'm not sure whether you already had an introduction. Let me check about the company. So I'll give you a quick company overview. Bernard, you referred already, of course, to Micro Focus and the partnership and etc. But maybe for everybody to understand and to understand who is Micro Focus. Well, we are a global software vendor in the business already for more than 40 years. We have more than 40,000 customers, and we are presented in almost 50 countries around the world. So a very large software company. And sometimes people ask, okay, Micro Focus. Well, we don't really know Micro Focus. Well, who is Micro Focus? Well, if you see on the and let me put the laser pointer on. Yes, okay. So over time, Micro Focus has grown and has acquired a lot of companies and acquired a lot of brands, which you show here on the right hand side. And I think one of the most important acquisitions that Micro Focus did was in 2017, when the full HP software, so the software business unit of Hewlett Packard Enterprise, was actually acquired by Micro Focus. And this is actually here, these are the, let's say, most of the brands that you may recognize from HP are now part of Micro Focus. So all of the software of HP back in time related to IT operations management, application delivery management, etc., security, and all of that has become part of Micro Focus. And then when we explain that to customers and to partners, then they say, okay, now we realize better who Micro Focus is. In general, and Bernard already touched upon it in the overview, we provide, we deliver, let's say, software in a wide range of areas to help customers with their digital transformation. And the four main parts are everything related to application development and software development lifecycle management and improvement. The second one is everything related to IT operations in a hybrid world, how to manage the IT operations and infrastructure management, service application management, etc., in a hybrid world. And that indeed will be the session, the topic of a session next week. The fourth pillar where we are really investing in and focusing on is everything related to cyber resilience. Resilience not only and cyber security not only in the context of security event and in incident management, but also solutions for information management and governance. Think about GDPR compliance, etc., and data encryption, data anonymization, and things like that. Really, for highly regulated and governmental solutions. And then the fourth pillar is a set of solutions that we provide that can help companies really give insight on all kinds of data, whether it's structured, unstructured data, video, audio, text information, etc. Here we provide solutions that are used, for example, by police departments in smart cities, healthcare institutions, and things like that, that help actually structure and give insight into data and help business getting more value out of data. But today's focus is actually the first pillar here is it's on the application delivery management. And it's probably not new to you that today that most of the products and the services that are delivered by a company are digital products. So that means that every company has become almost a software company, is delivering software, is delivering digital products which are based on software. Companies are changing the way they deliver products, they develop software, they adopt new ways of software delivery, they adopt agile ways of working, they adopt DevOps, a DevOps way of working, meaning there is an impact on culture, there's an impact on organization, there is a possible impact on tooling. So there are new tools that come into the picture, new processes that needs to be implemented. So there is a complexity. There is a complexity linked onto this to this becoming a software company. And for Micro Focus in the application delivery management space, we support customers in that transformation to improve their software delivery in 4 different areas. And that I will zoom into each of these areas over the next 20 minutes. So the first one is quality and test management. I will go into that, a very important part, and not only for, let's say, modern agile and DevOps way of working, but also still for companies that work in a waterfall way of working, because there are still quite a lot of projects and software development which is done in a waterfall mode or a combination of waterfall and more agile methodologies. Very relevant, of course, also to quality assurance and is testing, functional testing, making sure that the application is fit for purpose and that the product is fit for purpose, and that your testing is complete and is automated. So that's here we have a set of tools related to functional testing. Similarly, related to performance, we don't call it performance testing, but rather performance engineering. We have solutions that will make sure that the products that are delivered are fit for use, meaning that they are responsive, that they provide the proper availability, that they are performant, and not considering only performance testing as an afterthought somewhere at the end of the development cycle, but start thinking about performance monitoring and measurement and testing in the very early cycles of development. And that is what performance engineering is about. It's not about just executing test in the end. It's about thinking about performance management and performance monitoring of your applications from the very beginning in the development lifecycle already by the developer, and then moving further into production. The fourth pillar that I will zoom into is the agile and DevOps management. And this is everything which is, let's say, related to providing an end-to-end view and providing a governance layer on top of agile and DevOps management. And we represent this, and you will see if you happen to also join next week's session on IT operations management. We represent this these 4, let's say, functional domains in our diamond way of presentation that you see here, where you have the different functional domains, the capabilities that we provide, and the major use cases that are supported through these capabilities. And for each of the functional domains, as you hopefully will understand after this session, there are a number of products that support these capabilities, that provide the functionalities for quality and test management, for performance engineering, for agile DevOps management, and functional test automation, for example. And our products, they are supported by a technology, by technology layers that provide open APIs. So we have one of, let's say, our advantage or our assets is that our solutions are very open, have open APIs, can fully integrate into integrated DevOps change, etc. More and more, we build in artificial intelligence and machine learning into the solution by collecting data, providing analytical insights into that data, etc. You see also there is mentioning here about flexible deployment, and let me go quickly into that before zooming into the different domains, most of our solutions, or most of the products these days, are now based on a microservices architecture, meaning that they can be delivered in that they are running in container and containerized environments managed by Kubernetes clusters, for example, which makes those solutions available not only on-premise, so it means that the customer can implement a solution on-premise or in public cloud. But we also offer solutions as, or some of the, or most of, let's say, of the solutions also as a software as a service, as a SaaS offering. So the customer is not limited, let's say, in choice of deployment. We provide a rather flexible way of deployment of the solutions. So I think that's one of the already one of the advantages compared to some of the competitive products. From a licensing point of view, most of the products can be licensed either with perpetual licensing or subscription-based licensing. So these are two options. And most of the products, talking about licensing, most of the products also are, the licensing scheme is linked to usage. So either named users or concurrent users, except for the performance management tools. There, it is based on a number of virtual users that are used for which you simulate end users, and you want to do your load testing. But as I said, perpetual licensing, subscription licensing possible, and most of the time either named or concurrent usage mechanism, so that you understand how that works. So let's now zoom into the 4 functional areas, and to do that, I use a backdrop of a software lifecycle, which starts in the beginning with an idea. It has to be planned, has to be governed, until that product idea for the product or the change which is requested comes into operation. So the life cycle needs to be managed, and we have split that life cycle in 4 domains. So the plan, governance, develop, test, the deploy and release, and operate and monitor. Just a way to split that life cycle, and the way we represent further our offerings. If I go into a little bit more details for an Agile and DevOps cycle, then you see how a typical Agile application lifecycle, sorry, which elements or which functionalities come into place. So product and portfolio management, you have developers using their integrated development environments, source control management systems. You have continuous integration and a continuous delivery chain, which is typically based on tools like Jenkins or Bamboo or whatsoever, and so on. So these are the different, let's say, functional components that you typically see in an Agile and DevOps way of working. Later on, I will show you how after I have explained the products, how these products fit onto this page. Okay. If I'm talking too fast, or if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to respond immediately to your questions. So let's zoom into the first part, which is one of our 4 functional domains in our diamond, and which is about Agile and DevOps management. So Agile and DevOps management, here we see, and this is the way, by the way, I will represent each of the offering of the functional domains, a small explanation here on the left-hand side, and then you see the products, our micro-focused products, which are relevant in this space. So in this case, we have, when we talk about Agile and DevOps management, we touch upon the first part of the cycle, which is the planning and the governance cycle. And this is through our Micro Focus PPM, so project and portfolio management offering from Micro Focus allows you to manage your demand, define your, for example, your business objectives, your business strategies, validate, define projects, portfolios, link those projects to portfolios, define budgets, link budgets to projects and portfolios, and allows you then to when the request comes in, when the demand comes in, allows you to validate or to analyze whether a new request is something that can be meaningful for the business and whether it fits to business objectives. And if it fits to the business objectives, you can create a project for it. You can assign resources, the budget, and well, after the approval, you can go really into, let's say, the development step related to that particular idea. So everything related to projects and portfolio management and the ideation phase of a product, a digital product, can be handled through our product portfolio management solution, which is indeed called PPM. Then we have our product ALM, application lifecycle management, Octane. Octane is also a product that you will see that will come back later when we talk about quality and test management. But in particular, in a DevOps management space, Octane is a solution that allows us to connect to each of the many capabilities of a DevOps chain, collect information from all those steps, and provide insights towards a wider range of people on well, the progress, on the quality, on the way actually that your work travels through your software lifecycle. It integrates with so it collects information from the CI/CD, so the continuous integration, continuous delivery server. It collects information from the development environment. It also provides information towards the development systems and through this, all these integration and collecting information, it collects also information about the tests that have been completed, etc. It can provide you an end-to-end view, a governance layer on top of your DevOps application development cycle. Octane also allows you to really manage your Agile project way of working, to manage your backlog, to define program and product backlogs, to manage your sprints, your Agile sprints, to link those sprints and to link those the backlog towards the requirements that have been defined during project and portfolio management, etc. So that is a really the governance layer on top of DevOps. Also related to DevOps are two other components which are maybe less known into the market. You may have heard already about ALM Octane, maybe not about our release control and deployment automation solutions. Release control is a product that allows to manage a release from its very beginning, the definition towards the execution of the release. So whether it's a waterfall approach or an agile way of working, you still work with releases. You have to plan a release. You have to make sure that the release goes through a number of control gates before the software is deployed, etc. So you may have different versions that you plan of your product, which go into a release cycle. So release control is, let's say, the governance and planning part of release management that can be handled through release control. Deployment automation, on the other hand, is then our solution that can integrate with the CI/CD component to really deploy the infrastructure and the software across different environments, from development environment to a test environment, an acceptance environment, maybe a learning environment, and ultimately also going into production. For that purpose, deployment automation has its own deployment mechanism, but it can also rely on configuration management systems like an Ansible and so on to do the real deployment. So if I go back to this slide, then what we discussed actually now is that PPM, project and portfolio management, fits in here. Release control is a part of the release cycle in the development, in the DevOps governance and analytics space. And the deployment automation finds its way here into the continuous delivery part of the solution. Okay? And our Octane, ALM Octane, provides the overall end-to-end view, also analytics on test coverage, test completion, etc. And a status of, for example, the execution of work through the CI/CD pipeline, etc. So that is this is where Octane positions. Okay, I hope this is clear. I'm going fast, I know. We cannot go into the very details. There is a lot of things to cover. Okay, so the next part is quality and test management. And here for that purpose, there are two products, one of which I already referred to, and is our ALM Octane. ALM is Application Lifecycle Management Octane, and the other one is ALM Quality Center. Quality Center is a product, is our solution that is more geared towards the traditional waterfall approach and way of working. And it is also very strong capabilities for highly regulated environments because of its strong logging, auditing capabilities, integration with e-signature systems, etc., which is, for example, very relevant in pharmaceutical industries and things like that. The quality and Octane, on the other hand, is more, let's say, is better suited to provide quality and test management capabilities for an agile way of working, not only, let's say, agile way of working at team level, but also at enterprise level, where you have multiple agile projects which are running in parallel, which have to work together to deliver your final software product. So this is what ALM Octane can manage. It can manage multiple backlogs. It can handle a relationship between different what we call agile release trains and so on. So the test management part here, what is test, the quality assurance and test management? So it is of making sure that that the tests are defined for requirements, that when tests are executed, that you get the test execution results, that you can see the test completion, that you can report on the test completion to see whether tests have been missing, whether some requirements are all requirements tested, are they fully tested, how many defects has been generated, linking, creating defects, linking defects to requirements, and providing, let's say, insights into that over time. Doing so, how much is the test completion? How many defects are generated? Are the same kind of defects generated again time after time, or is there an improvement in the number of defects? Is there an improvement in the test over time into your test coverage, etc.? So it's a continuous. It helps to continuously improve your software quality and test management. So while test management then is more the process of driving actually tests and linking tests to requirements and making sure that defects are reported and are linked to requirements, etc. The real execution of the tests then is either done through our functional testing capabilities, and as I will explain the next step, also the performance testing capabilities. When we talk about functional testing, here we talk about our UFT, Unified Functional Test suite of products. So these are products. So UFT allows to do your test automation for a very wide range of technologies. So UFT is there since a very long time already. We have a very strong installed base and a very strong knowledge about functional testing with UFT. There are different components like UFT1. UFT1 is, let's say, the overall functional testing product that can drive your test automation. But particularly for mobile testing, we have UFT Mobile. UFT Mobile that provides mobile lab capabilities for all kinds of for testing your mobile applications on various operating systems, iOS, Android, but also different versions of your operating systems. Testing applications on different form factors, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a mobile phone from all kinds of brands and vendors, etc. And customers not only often do not have the capability or do not want to invest in let's say a solution that for which they themselves have to buy all those devices, and so that they can test their software on each of those different devices and each of those different operating systems and versions. So we provide, as part of UFT Mobile, Micro Focus can provide you a lab, actually, a mobile lab environment where we have all those devices available, and the customer can then just access that pool of devices to run their automated functional testing on those different environments. So that's part of our UFT Mobile capabilities. It's important to also understand that especially in a DevOps way of working and an Agile way of working, that testing is not something which happens at the end of a cycle. It's a continuous part of the Agile way of working, and therefore we also provide UFT testing capabilities for the developer. So what we call the shift left of testing towards development environment, towards the developers. So UFT developer then is our plug-in, let's say, a capability into the developers development environment that allows the developers to early in the development cycle design already their functional tests, and that then can also be later on reused in the during the real functional testing further down the life cycle of the flow into the development life cycle. We heavily invested over the last few years and still do so, and will keep on doing so in the use of artificial intelligence for our functional testing. Meaning we have built in, let's say, vision capabilities and also into our testing tools, and also provide the capabilities to describe your tests in natural language, really almost as if you write normal text, that you can develop test scripts in kind of a natural language way of working. About those, let's say, the vision part of UFT makes test scripts much more robust. So instead of an example, instead of having to write a test specifically for a certain, let's say, for example, in the Windows environment or on a web browser, typically testing they connect themselves to the object models of that web browser or to Windows. And if, for example, a button like an input box or a password or your username, or if you have a basket for an e-commerce system, for example, if that would change, if that object would change or would be renamed or whatsoever in the code, you will have to, it has an impact on your test. You will have to rebuild your testing. However, through the vision, let's say the vision and recognizing capabilities of UFT that recognizes the fields, just knowing if it sees on the screen, for example, I see this, this chariot or your in basket in an e-commerce site, it recognizes that object, whether that object is on the right upper side or on the left upper side, or whether it is green or red or whatsoever, it doesn't change. It knows that this is an in basket, and when you say in the test, well, now click let's say on your in basket, then it knows where to click. So the test becomes much more resilient and much more independent of the particular of the way the application has been coded, etc. And that makes that you have to spend much less time in maintaining, in updating the functional testing. So it really increases the test throughput and the time to deliver testing. A last element that I quickly want to refer to is service virtualization. Typically in a testing cycle, well, if you develop software is usually part of a larger ecosystem. Applications integrate with other applications, or maybe part of your development, you have to develop several new modules in an application, but to test one module, you actually need the other module already to be fully developed and test, but often that is not the case. So you need a way to emulate or simulate, let's say, the other elements of the ecosystem in order to functional test. And for that purpose, we provide the service virtualization capability. That is service virtualization allows you to simulate the APIs, etc., that are part of let's say the ecosystem that you want the industry to integrate with, and which allows you then really to test against that simulated APIs. So that also allows you to quicker and accurately test. The last part here is performance engineering. Already talked about it very briefly. What performance engineering is about. So it's a little bit. It's more than performance testing. It's really about thinking about performance monitoring and measurement from the early stages of development. So by the developer already, but also further down, thinking about and providing capabilities to, once a solution is in operations mode, to also think, leverage the performance testing that have been done in development environment, and leverage that for operational monitoring. And also another thing is that when you do operational monitoring about performance and availability in your once the solution is in production, you can feed that information also back into your development lifecycle as additional inputs for to better understand how the application is behaving and whether there is a need to optimize that application. So here we talk about load runner family, the load runner family of products, and as here as well, we have load runner has different versions available, but it's mainly, so its purpose is to provide to do load testing, stress testing, etc. And we have also solutions that well, load runner can also be applied at different personas. So here we have load runner developer, sorry, which it can again allows the developer from its integrated development environment to already think about and write performance tests, which can then also be later on executed in the real performance testing cycle later on in the software development. And another aspect that I want to show is a load runner cloud. Load runner cloud allows you to generate, let's say, massive loads on applications on your application under test from within Micro Focus cloud offerings. So how does typically such performance management work, or performance monitoring work? Or performance testing, sorry. So you have kind of load generators, and those load generators run virtual users, and they simulate transactions, and this way they put a load and a stress on the application. Now, if you want to do real heavy load testing, you need to have a lot of let's say of generators, or you need to be able to simulate thousands and thousands of users in parallel running and executing your application to do the testing. In order to avoid customers that they need to buy or plan or provide hardware and infrastructure for those load generators, we can take that off the burden of the customer and provide our cloud-based generators, which then can be used to scale out performance testing to a very large scale. Okay, so looking into timing, okay, I need to speed up a little bit. If we bring that then together to the picture that you saw before, then you can see here the different components that I talked about. So all the products that I talked about, the performance, the load runner, the functional testing products, the governance products, the quality assurance testing management products, deployment automation, etc. So now you can see how these products fit onto this bigger picture. You will see one thing that I didn't mention, Fortify, that is actually part of our cyber resilience product, but it's often mentioned here also in application delivery. Why? Because that allows to automated security testing, which is also part of the quality assurance cycle of a product. You not only test functional and performance, but also want to make sure that your code is secure. It doesn't contain any let's say any holes or whatsoever, and therefore the Micro Focus Fortify products can be applied, just like the load runner and the unified functional testing families. Can it be integrated in the CI/CD cycle? It can be managed through Octane or Quality Center for test management, etc. But I think that will be part of Fortify, will be explained more in another session. Then 5 minutes on some news that we provided from Micro Focus Universe, and Bernard already mentioned it. Universe is our annual customer, our large annual customer and partner event. It happened this time. It took place on the 22nd, 23rd of March. And there were quite a lot of new things and announcements that were made at Universe, but I picked out two, let's say, to my opinion, most relevant items that I want to show you here. And that is, first of all, our ValueEdge platform, and the second one, I'll come to that, is the model-based testing. We announced during Universe the availability of our new solution, which is called ValueEdge, Micro Focus ValueEdge platform, and which we believe is the industry's first end-to-end solution that allows the customer to apply value stream management to a software development lifecycle. Because of the importance, we gave it a private website, a micro website. You can see the URL here. If you click on this in the slides, you will get a slide later on. You will go to that micro site for more information. But quickly, what is actually value stream management about? So a value stream, in very brief words, is a set of activities that you execute to deliver an outcome, a value that can be consumed by your customers, whether it's an internal stakeholder customer or an external customer, etc. And value stream management is not a new concept. It is something which lives already since a very long time in the industry, especially in manufacturing. And it has become actually famous through Toyota, the lean process, lean thinking, the Toyota manufacturing process, etc. But within software, value stream management is a rather new concept. It's talked about several years already, but there are not real products, leading products on the market today that handle value stream management. And value stream management is let's say, the governance, the management of all the aspects of your let's say software delivery value stream, if we consider that as a value stream, and to make sure that whatever you do, that there is the flow of software, the flow of your product development is optimized, that there is no waste, that risks are reduced, and that you do the right things. That is actually what value stream management is about. And to illustrate that, if we represent here as again a software lifecycle in a slightly different way than I did before, but you see more or less the same phases in such a life cycle. And if we consider that one value stream, then the optimal way through that value stream would be like this one. So everything works fine. There are no bottlenecks. There is no wait time. Nobody has to wait for approvals, etc. Everything is fully automated. However, in real life, that is typically not the case. Very often, there is rework. There are waiting things. There are wait times, etc. at different places and so on. So by applying value stream management, the idea of value stream management is to collect, is to measure and also to automate activities and to control activities, but to measure also at all the activities, and then to come to a solution which is maybe not the full ideal solution, but which is a solution that works more fluently, in which the work flows properly through the chain, etc. So that is something which you can illustrate actually the value of value stream management. I'm going to skip this slide in the interest of time, and what we now announced, which is actually available today, it's not only announced, it is the value stream management platform, is ValueEdge. It is a platform which is a composable, let's say, a composable flat platform consisting of a number of shared services in which there is a data lake with analytical capabilities that allows us to provide an insight, to have an insights module and the insights module is the module that collects information about waste and that allows to define value, that allows to collect and monitor flow, waste, etc. So not going into details here, but then to report on it, giving you a kind of predictions of where can improvements be made, etc. So really providing analytical insights into all the measurements, all the information that's collected from the different components in your application stream. And there are a number of, let's say, functional modules that in here, that in ValueEdge, that can then be plugged in, which can be made available depending on the licensing structure that you have. It's only available as a SaaS. It's a full SaaS offering, so it will never become available as an on-premise solution. So that's a full SaaS offering. And so yes, we get very good feedback today from the market analysts on this solution. So it's you will hear a lot more about ValueEdge in the future. Today there are 3 out of these modules. There are 3 available already, full functional, and the next release this year there will other modules which will become available. Okay, then quickly on model-based testing. What is model-based testing? We talked about functional testing already before. But the functional testing there is still requires good understanding of coding, of software, about test languages, and etc. Model-based testing now is a way to define your overall test flow that needs to be done in a graphical way, like you see here, in a drag and drop graphical way, and it allows that, let's say, that the quality assurance, the business people to better to already define tests together with the quality assurance in a language in a way that it's much easier for the business analysts and the business people to understand. So rather than coding the let's say the tests in a test script, you really define your flows into a graphical way. We have also capabilities to import those flows, those test flows from using BPMN, for example. And it is actually a kind of an umbrella solution on top of existing or other really testing tools that then will execute the tests. So MBT allows you to define, let's say, the structure of the testing and the full path of tests that needs to be executed, which will then generate the actual tests which will be executed in this system. And that is shown in this slide here. So you define your also business people now can define the tests, and you have support to when you have a test which has a lot of different branches and you want to see all the possible paths that need to be tested for example, to fully test an application which has a lot of, let's say, possible paths towards the coder. There is an analytics capability into MBT that allows you to say, well, do you want to generate tests for all possible combinations of all flows, or do you want to generate tests that make sure that each and every step is tested, and so on. So there are different analytical supports to help define what the best test generation or the number of tests is to test the paths through your full let's say model, through the full model. So then the tests are generated. You can also generate your test or manage your test data within a model-based testing solution. You can export or import test data from Excel files, for example, link it to the different tests, and then MBT will hand over the tests with the test data to, for example, unified functional testing to do the real performance testing. So if we look at the bigger picture again, then I have enriched it now with the model-based testing here, which is here at the bottom, and the ValueEdge product, which comes on top, which really provides you a value stream management capability across the complete life cycle of your of the value stream of software development. I'm running over time. Sorry for that. I forgot to look into the time, 4 minutes over time, but this is where I finish my presentation. I hope it was a little bit clear. It was not too confusing, not too much information, but anyway, if you want, you can find out more and more at your ease and have a more in-depth view using this our website, which I shared the URL here. So thank you for having listened into this.
Thank you, Stefan. And anyway, if there are any questions regarding a part of this presentation or some products, you can always reach out to us or to Micro Focus, and we can organize some, I would say, deeper session into a specific subject if you have any request. But anyway, I don't know, as we are running out of time, I don't know if there are any questions. If yes, I would ask to quickly unmute yourself and ask questions. And otherwise, we will close up. I don't know. Okay, either they are lost, or it was clear to have an overview.
Let's hope it was the second.
I hope to. I hope to indeed. So thank you very much. There is one Q&A coming. Okay, no question. It was clear, so that's good. Thanks a lot, Stefan, for your time and for this very interesting presentation. And I would say up to the next one next Tuesday.
Yeah,
for
thank
IT
you. Thank you as well.
management. Completely different subject.
It's a completely different subject. Well, it's a little bit linked to, we didn't talk about, DevOps, it goes into the ops part. So Tuesday we will tackle the ops part. But thank you as well, Bernard, for giving the opportunity, and for all the attendees for having listened in. It was my pleasure. So have a nice, enjoy the sun during the weekend, and talk to you later maybe.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.